welcome to another episode of Psycho's Platters, always powered by coffee each and every time. Alright, so what's Mighty Psycho going to go off and do today? Well, we're going to do another episode of Jukebox from Hell. That's right, it is that time again. Before we get into this, though, if you had a chance to go take a look at my previous episode, episode 34, where we review the 1995 album Fleetwood Mac's Time, take some time out to go check that out a little bit, and maybe you'll learn something like I did when I was doing that video, right? But that's not what we're going to talk about today. Today we're talking about episode 35. We're going to go back to January 1979, and we're going to go off and have the album Bad Publicity from the band Angel. That's right, which if this doesn't sound familiar to you, that's fine, because they would change this to Sinful. Alright, we'll get to that story in a second here. Like I said, January 1979 this came out. It was Bad Publicity like you see here, but then it was changed to Sinful with the same tracks and all, just different cover. It was an all-white cover of the band because, well, that's what Angel was known for. Casablanca Records, which is where this came out of, basically called them the anti-Kiss, the opposite of Kiss, whatever. I don't know, whatever on that one, right? They would dress up all in white. They had this hologram technology back then. Kind of some interesting yet strange stuff. So, before this album came out, they had the album White Hot. That only made it to number 55 on the Billboard charts. Now this album here only went to 159 on the pop album charts. There is a CD release. There's 2 bonus tracks on it. One is from the movie Foxes, and Walk Away Renee, a cover of that. Your usual suspects here: Frank Domino on vocals, Punky Meadows on guitars, Felix Robinson on bass, Barry Brandt on drums, and Greg Giuffria, yeah, that guy, on keys. Now, before I get into the meat and potatoes of everything here, let me show you on a record collecting standpoint. Here's the front and here's the back on this, right? So, I don't know, I kind of dig this cover, though, over Sinful. Now, I just wanted to show you here that, of course, it is going to be on Casablanca. My copy's pretty near minty, but I do want to show you that whoever, I got this from a record store in trade, but if any of you people remember Dog Ear Records, that's beyond me. I don't know where that would have come from, what part of the country, but it also came with your lyric sleeve, and of course you see they show up like a prison lineup, right? But yeah, so they changed that to Sinful, and I've seen copies of Sinful. I just didn't realize until I got this album and was able to put 2 and 2 together. I get this later. To be able to put 2 and 2 together on this, right? So, like I said, let's get into the meat and potatoes of Angel's Bad Publicity. As Paul Harvey would say, page 2. So, track 1, Don't Take Your Love. What a great way to start this, I'm telling you. I love the harmonies, and this cooks. Track 2, LA Lady. It's an okay song, but would have sounded better without the piano on it. Sorry, Greg. Track 3, Just Can't Take It. This is a good song too, but why do I feel like I've heard parts of this song somewhere else? By the way, the research for today's episode, Angel's official website, AllMusic and Wiki as well. track 4, You Can't Buy Love, another good song. That's right, You Can't Buy Love. And for 2 seconds in the beginning, it almost goes into an ELO's Do Ya vibe, if you remember the song, which originally was a Move song, but ELO did Do Ya, and it kind of does that for about that much. Track 5, Bad Time, to close out side 1. Really like this song. It's kind of ear candy, and I love the slinky guitar in this. Alright, Punky did a real good job on that one. Then we go side 2, track 6, Waited Long Time. Excuse me, I can't even read my writing. Starts out slightly like Scorp's Rock Like a Hurricane 5 years before that, though, right? But it's a good rocker with good harmonies, indeed. Track 7, I'll Bring the Whole World to Your Door. Another cooker here. Part of this melody I've also heard before, but where? Track 8, I'll Never Fall in Love Again. Really good song with nice harmonies, guitar, and keys. And the drumming is rapid fire at times. Track 9, Wild and Hot. Not sure if they were trying for a slight Cheap Trick vibe here. Nothing wrong with that. And then we close out the album with track 10, Lovers Live On. A really cool song to close this out. Mostly, this is a really, really good album here. And of course, the fun afterwards. So, they did a tour for this album upon its release, and they opening for Ted Nugent for that matter too. They would release in February 1980 Live Without a Net, but this was recorded from the 1978 White Hot tour. Band would break up in 81. They did appear in the 1980 movie Foxes, which is where the song Virginia, which is a bonus track, comes from. And Frank Domino and Punky Meadows, they leave in 1981 to be replaced by Fergie Fredrickson. If that name sounds familiar to you, good for you. But if not, we've brought up Fergie before in the past. Fergie was originally the singer of a Chicagoland band named Trillion, and then he would go on to LaRue after the Babies and Toto, among other projects too. And Ricky Phillips, yeah, that Ricky Phillips, who'd end up playing bass for the Babies, Bad English, and just until this past week here, which was announced that he left Styx after 20 plus years. But very little recorded from that lineup, and they broke up soon after. Flash forward to 2019, Frank Domino Punky Meadows returned to Angel moniker with Felix Robinson sitting in on some shows this year. 2023, new album came out called Once Upon a Time. Rest in peace, Mickey Jones, original bass player of Angel, who passed away in September 2009. So, are you an Angel fan? Did you end up buying this back in January 1979? Whether it was originally Bad Publicity or Sinful, did you end up getting that album? What do you think of this thing? I personally think that Angel did not get the right recognition that they needed, okay? I don't know what factors could have killed it. Maybe it was the image. Maybe it was because we were still into the disco era, if you will. Needless to say, this album deserved a hell of a lot better than 159 on the Billboard. I could have truthfully seen this as a top 40 or top 50 album back in 1979, honestly. There's a lot of good songs on here. Go check this out, whether you're an Angel fan or not. Like I said, under the Bad Publicity or Sinful title, go look at it. I think you will be pleasantly surprised. Now, I know that you may be asking yourself, and even if you're not, you're going to find out anyway, what is the next episode of Jukebox from Hell? otherwise known as episode 36. We're in the halfway point of season 3. We're going to go back to 1972 on this. In a way, this is a request too. A former member of a great 60s, at that time, blues rock band, so, and he leaves the band and he joins a cult and creates an album. Jeremy Spencer and the Children. Yeah, that's right, we're going to go there. Oh boy, this could be a quite interesting episode for next time on Jukebox from Hell. Now, if you have any future suggestions for future episodes, and I also, forgive me, I apologize, this actually was requested. Right now I cannot remember who requested the Angel. They also were requesting either Angel, Piper, or Stars, which that may end up being in future episodes of JBH. But if you have any suggestions for future JBH, drop them in the comments below. I will stick them in the suggestion book, and I will shout out accordingly. So, everybody, take care. God bless. Rock on. Always part my coffee each and every time. That's the mighty Psycho promise. And like I said, go check this out. Take care.